What's good, y'all? It's Ali back in again with another YouTube video in which I give you guys mental models you can use to become extremely successful and accomplish all the goals you are after. So let's get right into it. So today we're talking about content because obviously you consume content. But like every demon, like every real winner, like every single man that's going to reach the peak of his power and masculinity, he uses everything that he does as a way to gain more power, more strength, and learn more things in order to accomplish his goals. So you need to be thinking about content the same way. You should not be consuming any content in your life at all that is not helping you become a winner. Because you're here to become a winner. That's why you're watching this shit right now. So you shouldn't be wasting time watching bullshit that isn't helping you. Actually, you should not be wasting time watching shit that is actually making you worse. Because when you're sitting there watching horrible content that does not serve you at all, your life is getting progressively worse. Because you're only going to get older. You're only going to get more and more less useful. And obviously that's horrible for you. You don't want to do that shit. So what do I mean by content in the context of a man who wants to become a winner and accomplish great things in his life? And to define it for you, it just means change my behavior. Yep. That is how you guys should be thinking about content. If you are watching content and it is not changing your behavior, you're losing, you're a bum, you're stupid. You should only be watching things that change your behavior because who you are is what you do. What you become is based off what you do. What is useful to the world, what makes you important and useful to the world is what you do, not what you know, not what you think, who gives a fuck. What can be seen and applied is what is useful to the world and is also what is useful to you. Who cares if you know things if you can't fix your life? It's like, what the fuck? You just know shit for no reason. Imagine you're a guy walking around being like, hey, I can build a fucking city. And people are like, or moreover, you're like, hey, I know how to build a fucking city. And you're walking around. Everyone's like, okay, nigga, bro, we do it then. Like, what the fuck? And then you're sitting there like, exactly. It doesn't matter if you know the thing, if you don't do the thing, because doing is actually what makes things matter, right? Especially for us as men. Who cares if we know things? We're based off how useful we are. And usefulness comes from action and ability. So naturally, when you are spending time watching content, it should be changing your behavior. Because if it is not changing your behavior, that means you are losing. And that's primarily the whole point of this video here. I want you to consume this content that you're watching or all my content that you see. I want you guys to watch it and then your behavior actually changes. Or else my content isn't useful, right? So if you're watching videos or consuming content and your behavior isn't changing, then that means that content is actually useful for you. And the actionable step for this video here is whenever you're watching content, and this is basically the frame of mind you're going to use whenever you're consuming content to know, hey, this is content I should keep watching because it is actually useful, or this is content, this is buoy shit, I should leave a mean hate comment being like, your shit is shit, you should stop being a YouTuber or whatever you're consuming this content on, or some shit like that, right? So we drop it here and we're like, how does this change me? Yep. That is a question you should always ask after everything that you watch. It should be, how does this change me? For example, you're watching this video right now. I'm talking about how you guys should be viewing content in your mind whenever you're watching content. It should be in the way of changing your behavior because who you are is what you do. Right? If you want to become accomplished in this life, you have to do things. And who cares what you know or what you think? Okay, then the actionable step for that is whenever you do watch content, you should always be asking yourself, how does this change me? Right? If you're watching a video and if you finish this video that you're watching right now and none of your behavior changes, you don't know what to do next, then that means this was a shit video and you should unsubscribe from me and you should leave a dislike on this video because I didn't teach you anything. I didn't help you make your life better by changing your behavior because as we've established, your life or who you become and who you are is based off what you do. Understand? But if you did finish watching this video and you're like, okay, this was great. This was simple to understand. I understand what I must do. I understand I have to ask myself every single time I watch content, how does this change me? And I'm going to apply this immediately after watching this video when I watch any other content I need to watch for whatever goals that I'm trying to achieve, because obviously you have unique goals you're trying to achieve, and you need to watch content for that because you want to increase your knowledge because you have more knowledge, you can achieve more shit, right? So whenever you watch those other videos that you need to watch and you finish watching them and you're like, hey, I know what I need to do based off what I just watched here, this is a good video. This means you should keep watching this content. It's simple to understand and you can actually use it. This means your life's actually going to get better, right? That's what you should take away from this video, and that's how you should look at all videos that you watch into the future. You know, because this is what leads you to become a winner. When you watch content and it is changing your behavior, that means your life is fundamentally going to change. You know, a lot of you guys have watched thousands of hours of dumbass content. You guys have read a ton of fucking books, but your life hasn't fundamentally changed because all this bullshit that you wasted time watching or reading or whatever hasn't changed your life. This is how guys can basically watch or know a ton of stuff for years, read a ton of books for years, and then their life still looks fundamentally the same from the years prior because nothing changed about their behavior, you know? And naturally, this doesn't always mean that the content itself is bad that you're watching. It could also be you. There could also be something fucking wrong with you. You don't want to change your behavior. You just like listening to this shit because it sounds nice in your head. You're like mentally masturbating and you're like, that feel good, learning and then not doing anything. You know, that's a whole other problem that we also need to attack. But you basically need to combine both. You already need to be an action taker, and you need to combine this with making sure when you watch something, you can immediately use it. You know, so for my guys that are watching this that are already action takers, whenever you are watching content, you should immediately drop or stop listening to a creator, stop watching some shit that isn't giving you information that you can immediately apply to the real world, right? Because as I've established, saying it over and over again because it's so important, who you are is what you do. What matters in this world is your action as a man especially, right? Okay. But if you're not an action taker, then I have a video for you that I'll link down below that will give you the desire and hunger to actually take action. And then this will apply even more so from whenever you watch content. And to kind of wrap up a little bit here, for me, I used to be that kind of guy like, oh, you shouldn't be on social media, blah, 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 Sigma grind said, you know, dopamine detox. That shit was fucking stupid. I'll admit that shit was dumb. Because the thing is, a weapon is only dangerous to you if you don't know how to wield it. Meaning social media and content is only dangerous to you if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. If you don't know how to consume content in a way that actually benefits you, then of course content is horrible for you. Of course you shouldn't be on social media if you don't know how to consume the shit. But social media is here to stay. The internet is here to stay, and it has a ton of useful information. It got niggas like me on here. I'm on this shit. I'm asking you guys to get to meet me and learn all this shit from me, right? So there's useful shit on here, but the thing is, if you're not consuming stuff in the right way, if you're not consuming from people that can actually teach you and change your behavior, then of course it's only going to hurt you. If you're watching this dumbass entertainment content that isn't serving you, you're watching dumbass shit, then of course it's not going to help you. You want to make sure you're watching the right things. So the way you do that is by making sure every single time you watch content, hey, how is this changing me? If it's not changing me, I'm not watching this anymore. If it is changing me, I'm watching it. You know? Because when you understand how to wield a weapon, it goes from a potential enemy when you didn't know how to wield it to now your greatest asset. Understand? So yeah, man. Just let me know how you boys felt about this shit. Is this great? Did you understand this? Because obviously I want to improve my ability to make stuff very simple and understandable and actionable for you guys so you can actually change your lives. You know? And if you're like, no, Ali, this was some heat, boy. This shit clean. Then of course, like the video. Because that means more guys will understand this. More guys will be able to watch content in ways that will actually benefit them. You know, the fam will grow, of course. And of course, if you really loved it, subscribe too. Because I'm dropping heat like this every single day. All the time. I'm dropping stuff like this every single day so you guys can have mental models and frames that allows you to accomplish great things in your life, reach the peak of your power, reach the peak of your masculinity, of course. So yeah, man, like and subscribe. And with that being said, I'll catch you boys in the next YouTube video. Deuces.